Hello, I'm Brad Smith. Welcome to week 12 and well done for making it this far. You're almost there. One more week and you'll be finished. This week we look at managing the supply chain of the future. Right back in week 1 we said that an important aspect of any supply chain was its ability to be adaptable. So this week we look at what are the forces acting on supply chains that will require it to adapt. We look at the framework that you might have come across before, perhaps in your marketing courses, the PESTEL framework, where we look at the political, the economic, the social, the technological, the environmental and the legal forces that all organisations have to consider as they move forward. Just quickly, some of the aspects that will relate to supply chains. As we've mentioned at many points throughout this course, supply chains increasingly are becoming much more global in their reach. So this entails obviously different political forces as organisations have to manage the supply chain across country borders. The political aspects become important. Various economic forces that are taking place. We have just recently lived through the Great Recession, one of the biggest financial recessions of our time, and all organisations have had to respond to that. The supply chains have been affected in many ways. Organisations have to consider the social aspects of their supply chain, particularly as their supply chains become global and the increasingly outsourced to countries that may not have the social conditions in place that we often expect them to have. Technology is having a huge impact on supply chains. At the time of shooting this video, there was a lot around in the news about the increased use of 3D printing. 3D printing has the potential to radically change supply chains. A few weeks ago we talked about the economic order quantity. So what quantity of product should an organisation manufacture to optimise the holding cost versus the manufacturing cost? Well, all of these calculations go out the window when you start to think about 3D printing because the economic order quantity suddenly becomes pretty close to 1. An organisation doesn't have to hold inventory anymore. They can simply download a program and print off a part as soon as it's required at very low cost. So this is an area that we will increasingly see organisations use, and it has a potential to radically change the supply chain. Things like RFID, radio frequency identification, to track inventory through the supply chain, the use of GPS technology to monitor inventory, to monitor the logistics operations. All of this is changing the face of supply chains, and so it's important that organisations monitor this and adapt as necessary. Sustainability, environmental aspects are also increasingly important. Organisations have to keep on top of this. A big area will become the recyclability and the sustainability of the product that organisations sell. And finally, the legal aspects. Again, as organisations, supply chains become more global in their reach, the legal implications become much more important. So this unit is really just an opportunity for you to think about within your own organisations, how are these forces going to affect your supply chains? How well placed is your organisation to adapt how agile is it in it's the speed at which it can adapt to these various forces. It's a great unit to, I think, close out our discussion on supply chains because it does really get us to start thinking about these things. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the course over the last 12 weeks. I've enjoyed facilitating it with you, and I look forward to your final assignments, which are no doubt I'm either marking right now or will be due very shortly, and also the final exam. If you have any questions around the final exam, what's expected, the format, and so on, and if what I've issued out hasn't answered those questions, again, feel free to contact me and I'll answer any questions you have. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed the last 12 weeks of study. I hope that this course has given you a much deeper understanding of supply chains and the importance of supply chains to the overall success of organisations. I look forward to possibly catching up with you on one of the other MBT courses, but if not, I wish you all the best in your future studies and all the best in your future careers. So it's goodbye from me.